If I can come to, Mr. Mani, if you could give me a few minutes, let me just quickly go across to a political spokesperson, because what has been said right now is very important. Manish Barriar, to you first. You heard the expert here on our panel. He said cases dropped 2017, 18, 19, but over the last 1 year, particularly 6 months, cases have been on the rise. Who's responsible for this, sir?
See, first of all, my condolences to the family. It's a very sad event, but this is something which is, your questions are very pertinent. I think the answer lies in what, the gentleman, and with due respect to him, the way he said, if you look at railways in general, the entire management mindset is more about fault finding and it's more about punishment. I don't see any kind of a one family working towards a certain service or that service orientation, what we call, is missing in railways. And I think, the lack of accountability is also there. Had this happened somewhere else, let's take up like in Britain or somewhere else, you would have found that the entire railway board would have been sacked, and maybe the railway minister also would have gone. But I have not seen this happening in last 50, 60 years, except what we saw with Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri doing it, and even Mr. Nitish Kumar. Barring these two ministers, I don't recall anyone actually taking a stand as such, where they say, okay, I'm responsible for it. So if you look at, I'm speaking more like a concerned citizen. If you look at from political divide either ways, I don't think anybody takes accountability. So that's one. The second part is that, railway is lacking technical aspect also. I'm sure the other gentleman can point out. Again, if you go back to some of the developed nations, there are systems in which the moment you were talking about signaling, the moment a train crosses or finds something wrong with the signaling system, the train automatically stops. Or if the speed goes up, the train stops. Okay. So there is a deep malaise which goes beyond political divide, and I feel that it is time for the entire political setup to look at railways from that point of view and give respect to the Indian lives. That matters a lot. That is what, in my opening statement, I would say.
Dolly Sharma, do you agree with what Manish Barriar is saying, Dolly Sharma? Do you see the fact that the accountability needs to be with the railway board, and politically nobody is accountable across political lines?
No, I think everybody should be held accountable. Like he said that earlier, we have seen Lal Bahadur Shastri ji and other minister also, Nitish ji also resigned because of this. So today what we are seeing is, first of all, I would like to, say that the incident is really saddening, and may the soul rest in peace. All what has happened is very, very sad. And this is not the first time that has happened. This is the second incident in past 1 month that has happened. Very saddening, very disheartening. But I think the railway minister should focus more on railways rather than reels. This is first thing that I would like to say. And second thing, I have few questions that I would like to ask. First is, why has the railways Kavach security system been able to cover only 1% of the railway tracks so far? If you do not have the means to install Kavach system on all the railway tracks, then why the Prime Minister, after increasing the number of bullet trains and 250 kilometers per hour high-speed trains, instead of upgrading the Kavach system? And third question is, despite frequent rail accidents, why did the Indian government spend rupees 1 lakh crore on bullet trains instead of spending it on the rail safety? Fourth question is, why was the allocation for track renewal limited?
Let me just try and get, you're raising questions, you're just adding to the questions, because frankly, we are trying to look for answers here. No, we are trying to see where the accountability can be fixed. We're trying to look for where the answers are. So since you've raised these questions,
there are 3 lakh jobs.
Right. So while you're raising these questions, these are,
in the railways, why they are not filling them up? We have questions and we need to ask the government, because this is not the first time. There are many, many incidents, You look at this. I have the paper. How many incidents? You're talking about 5, but if we go back to the past 5 years, you look at how many incidents has happened. So we need to ask the government. We need to hold somebody accountable, and why not the rail minister? Why the railway budget
All
is
right.
merged